Hey guys. Well, we're here on a Sunday. We're going to see how many of you folks actually log in to participate in this live stream. Obviously, like I said on Thursday, I wanted to see about offering something of more value to you guys, especially at a time that was more conducive for you. I had a bunch of times come in, originally said, 6 p.m. on Sunday, went to 5 p.m. on Sunday, and now we're 3 p.m. on Sunday. So we're going to see how this works, especially for all of you guys that have notifications on. Make sure that when you subscribe, or if you're subscribed to my channel here on YouTube, make sure also that you tick the bell, because when you tick the bell, it will notify you whenever I go live or whenever I upload a brand new video. So that's important. You want to make sure that you, tick the bell on that. So a lot of stuff has been happening this weekend, and I've got a bunch of questions from you guys already to answer, which I absolutely love. So thanks so much for doing that. One of the things that's happening is I'm starting a brand new program, not really brand new, but I'm kind of launching it again and adding some bennies to the whole thing in regards to voiceover domination. So if you don't know about voiceover domination, there's a link in the description that will take you to that page and tell you all about voiceoverdomination.com. It's voiceoverdomination.com. It'll tell you all about what's happening in that particular training program that I have. And it's super cheap. It's $29 a month. You actually get 10 days for free. But I've added on some stuff. I've added on doing a once a month live stream, kind of like I'm doing here, but only for participants in that group. Also, what's amazing is one of the things that I'm working on right now. Can I show you this? Let me see if I can share the screen with you. And I believe I can. All right, let's transition over here. I'm working on VQ Magazine again. So this is basically the cover that I'm working on right now. This should be launched sometime this week, in the coming week, as I get things off and popping here. So we're putting it together. A magazine just for the voice actor that is looking to start, build, and grow a successful voiceover career. So I'm super excited about VQ Magazine. I'd said I was going to stop it, but what I realized is that it's going to be a great way to actually disseminate some condensed information to everyone that is going to be of value. So it's not just a magazine. There's going to be clickable links, videos right there embedded in the magazine, training embedded right there in the magazine. So I'm super excited about that, about doing VQ Magazine. It was only supposed to be a quarterly magazine. Now I'm going to be producing it every month. But again, it's only going to be for those that are in voiceover domination. It's one of the bennies. So all the stuff you get with voiceover domination, plus brand new live stream with me exclusive to that group to go over some serious training for those that are serious about their voiceover career, and also having access once a month to VQ Magazine, which is going to be outstanding. If you never saw the first issue, you missed it. But many of you may have seen it. If you would like that, VQ Magazine, I'm going to make that available as well. That first edition, which was huge, I'm going to make that available too within Voiceover Domination this week. So go ahead and join up at voiceoverdomination.com and go ahead and get you a bunch of bennies. I'm going to be adding stuff on like crazy, so go join. This week is going to be huge for voiceoverdomination.com. All right, so we've got window tinting business. All right, is that auto or is that home? I'm assuming that's auto, but I guess you could tint your windows on your house as well. I remember back in the day, I used to tint a lot of windows when I was in the military. Andrea Daniel, welcome in. Rodney, glad to have you in watching us as well. All right. I'm going to go ahead and dive into the questions that came in, because we did actually have a lot of questions. Steve was asking, hi, I thought this was going to be at 5 p.m. Yeah, it was, but it changed. It was going to be, but 3 p.m., that's what I'm going to be doing to see what works with that. So 3 p.m., you guys just want to keep me here like late into the evening. That's just not going to keep happening. But so I did it at 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern. And I did put out a notification on Facebook and everywhere else, actually, that I am. So if you're not following me on Facebook at Earl Hall Studio, at the group for Steps to Voiceover Success, You're not following me on Instagram. You're not following me on Twitter. You're going to miss a bunch of stuff because I do post a lot of different things and I don't post the same things everywhere. So if you're not following me on all the social media platforms, you're probably missing out, especially if you're not following me on Instagram. That is just blowing up over there. And so follow me on Instagram. It's just Earl Hall Studio over there. Hey, what's up, Dan? All right, let's go into the questions here. All right, the first one, a couple of these are kind of long. So, Steve-O, this is your question here. It says, Earl, do you remember your first paid voiceover gig? What was it, and how many auditions did you submit before you got it? All right, that's an interesting question because when I first started out in voiceover, I started out doing things for free. I started out doing spec work so that I could develop a name for myself in a couple of the industries that I was in, which was radio. A lot of internet radio stuff was going on back then. And we're talking about 2006, 7, and 8. So I was doing a lot of spec work and then getting little jobs here and there from people that wanted to advertise on these different internet radio stations. And I was doing, $50 gigs back then. When I started. When I got serious about this about 3 years ago, the very first gig that I got that got me excited, and I will never forget this because at the time I was driving a bus for the city of Milwaukee. I was a bus driver, as most of you know. And I got to a layover and I had got a thing on ACX. It was for an audiobook. A business owner that just wrote a business book wanted to hire me to do his read for his book. That was like my first serious one that paid me some serious money to do. So I remember that one. We'll never forget it. And it's out on ACX now. You can see all the books I've ever done. You can go to ACX, not ACX. You can go to Audible or Amazon, type in my name, Earl Hall, and you'll see every book I've ever done. As far as audiobook, I would suggest just going over to audible.com, typing in my name, and you'll see all the books that are there that I've voiced for audiobook. So that was that. Second part of this, what medium did you start out on in order to find your first gig? Was it on Fiverr? No, it was ACX. It was ACX. Shortly thereafter, it was Fiverr. No, shortly thereafter, it was Upwork. And then it was Fiverr. That I started looking at. Voices 123, I actually just signed up for Voices 123 about a couple of weeks ago and started doing auditions there. I've gotten a couple jobs from that, but it's not where I started. Let's see. Are you entirely self-produced right from the beginning? In other words, did you produce your own first demo or did you ever have a more experienced pro back in the day? Listen, okay, what I did was I did put together my own demo and then oh gosh, this is going back in time here. I was a member of voices.com for a real short period of time because I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of voices.com. And here's another reason why. They suggested to me a coach to use. I won't name the coach's name. He produced a demo for me and it was no good. And he didn't do what he promised what he was going to do. And that's a big deal to me. Well, it's a big deal to everyone, I'm sure. But I said, you know what, maybe I need to get a professional to do this. And what I figured out by going through that experience was that my skill set was above normal. My skill set was above normal in producing audio and producing voiceover demos and things of that nature. And that was back in the day. And I've done nothing but get more fierce about that. I'm no joke when it comes to audio production. So that's how that all started. What else here? Let me make sure I read the whole question. Demo back in the day. Listen to it before passing it to finished product for potential clients to listen to. Here's the thing, Steve-O. You know when something sounds good or doesn't. You know. I think a lot of times we want people to kind of co-sign on what it is that we're doing or not doing. And I stopped having people co-sign a long time ago because it halted my growth. I don't ask people's opinions a lot when it comes to what it is that I'm putting out there. And this has been for a while because everybody has an opinion just like they have something else. Everybody has an opinion. And if you're not secure in your own and you need someone else to tell you that you're good, sometimes that can hold you back. I think that innately a lot of us know whether we're good or not. I think we know whether we're good or whether we need some more work. And when you know that you're good, that's where the rubber meets the road. People have heard me say done is better than perfect. And I believe that. And if you start doing things on a consistent basis to get better and better at like audio production, you will. Watch all the YouTube videos you can watch, on audio production and just get better. And you'll know when you're good. All right. Have you ever had a dry spell where you auditioned many times over many days or weeks, or has it been always steady progression? It will never always be steady progression for a long time. And I need to let you know that. Now it's more than ever. It has been more steady, but this is because of consistency. And I've kind of explained this before, where whatever you do today, if you send out 100 emails today, you won't get the benefit of that for about 90 days or more from now. So what you do today, expect something to happen in 90 days. But if you don't do anything tomorrow, you're starting over from square one. So you have to be consistent every day so that in 90 days, something will happen. Day 91, something will happen, 92. But if you stop and you're not consistently marketing, because the big thing about this whole thing is that voiceover is like this big as far as importance. Marketing and sales is this big. It's more about marketing and sales than it is about voiceover. So you've got to be, and when I'm talking about marketing and sales, I'm talking about auditioning. I'm talking about putting out proposals. I'm talking about putting out emails. I'm talking about being active on social media marketing, those things. And if you're not, and you miss a day or a week or two, you're putting yourself farther behind the 8 ball and starting over again. So it's got to be a daily event. Your motto, grind and don't quit. Can you expound on why you came up with it and how it pertains to your own VO journey? I hope these questions will be helpful for Sundays. All right, the grind and don't quit came. I'm going to try and make this story as fast as possible because many of you probably have heard it. But I used to be a bus driver for 2 years straight. 2 years straight before I went out on my own. Was a bus driver. Worked a crazy schedule, discovered I couldn't do what I wanted to do. I took a pay cut of 30 grand to go work in the garage because I wanted to build a voiceover business because I knew I could do it. So I took the pay cut to get a regular schedule because a bus operator has no regular schedule. It's all over the map. So I took a job in the garage working from 7 p.m. to 3:30 a.m. in the morning. Yes, 7 p.m. at night to 3:30 a.m. in the morning. That was my schedule. And I did this for 2 years. Here's what I did. Went to work at 7 p.m., woke up at 3:30. Got off at 3:30 a.m. in the morning, went to bed, woke up at 7 a.m. to take my kids to school, came back home, went down in my basement where my studio was, worked there from about 8 a.m. till about 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Took a nap. Woke up at 3 p.m. to go pick up my kids. Got back home at 4 p.m., took a nap. Woke up at 6:30 to get to work at 7 p.m. Every day. Every day for 2 years. That's where the grind and don't quit mentality came from. I lost sleep. I missed birthdays. I missed events. I forgot stuff, but I did initially when I set out, I told my wife, I said, look, I need 2 years. I need you not to bitch and gripe and moan at me for 2 years so I can build this. I'm going to forget stuff. I'm not going to be available for a lot of things with the family, but if I don't do this, the family will suffer for the rest of our lives. So I asked her for that. She gave it to me. No complaining. She did not. She was on my side. She was my rock. And it enabled me to do what I needed to do. And so for 2 years, I didn't sleep. I didn't eat. This was my daily schedule. And that's where the grind and don't quit mentality came from. Still yet today, I'm waking up like yesterday morning, Saturday. I woke up at 4 a.m. I was in here at 6 yesterday. Because this is what I love. It's the grind and don't quit. I love this. So anyway, I hope that answers your question. That's where it came from. All right, let me go back because I'm not seeing you guys' comments in here. So where's my mouse? There's my mouse. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna take a look at a couple of the comments. Steve-O saying voices.com has a very deceptive business model. Agree. Window tinting. I'm looking into VO part-time. Picked up a NT1 with a PSA1 arm. Yeah, okay. Pair of Audio Technica. Da, 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 da. I have the proper gear, but I don't know where to start. Suggestions. You need some big help. Window tinting business that's not going to be, I can't answer that question. It's because it's too broad for this. But I've got the voiceover domination course that's there. It's going to help you do all those things that you're looking for and more. Go ahead and sign up at voiceoverdomination.com. The link is actually in the description of this video as well. 10 days are free. You're going to have access to me more through Direct Connect, through live streams that I'm going to be doing there, and I'll be able to take questions more in depth like that. But the question, where do I start, is a broad question because I need to know more about you, and we can't do that here. Or you can schedule a one-on-one with me from the website at Steps to Voiceover Success. All right, Steve was saying, question, a very well-known, very successful VO says Craigslist is now his go-to site for new clients. He swears by it. Earl, have you farmed Craigslist for VO jobs yourself? Probably about a year ago, maybe I looked at it, but it's nothing that I've dived into. Now, here, before you take my answer and say it's maybe no good or whatever, here's what I firmly believe. What you pay attention to brings you results. If you're paying attention to Fiverr, you're going to get results. If you're paying attention to Voices 1, 2, 3, I mean paying attention and playing in that ecosystem and doing what needs to be done, you're going to get results. If you're playing in the ecosystem of Craigslist and you're learning and trying to understand how that works, it's going to produce results. What you pay attention to, what you nurture will grow. So it's all about that. What happens so many times, or too many times, especially with new voice actors, you're chasing shiny objects. You're hearing this person over here say, oh, I'm having great luck on Craigslist. This person, oh, Fiverr is the thing. This person over here, oh, it's voices.com. Over here, oh, you got to get on LinkedIn. You're chasing the dragon and you're becoming an expert at nothing. Because you're starting and stopping, going to something else, starting that, stopping because someone else said something about, you got to stop that. You've got to pick where you want to play and know that it's going to take you a minute to do that. Those people that are telling you, I'm having great success on Craigslist, that's because they've been paying attention to it for a long time. It did not happen yesterday. It did not happen today. They've played in that ecosystem and they've learned the rules of engagement and they've become masters of it. And so now they're reaping the fruits. They're reaping the rewards of the work that they've put in. And that's what you need to do. Stop chasing every little thing someone tells you. You got to pick something and become a master of it. Because otherwise you're just a master of nothing. And you know nothing. And all of a sudden you're just lost. Pick something and grind and don't quit on it. All right. All right. Let's go back to the questions that were over here, and I'm going to take a little sip of my water. All right. Here's from Denise is asking, how do we get the audition? Is it possible to do an internship at EHS? Actually, no, there's no internships at EHS to get voiceover work. How do we get the audition? You've got to be good enough to get it. And here's the thing. People think that, oh, well, maybe if I tweaked my audio a little bit, the audition would have been better. Oh, maybe if I spoke a little bit faster, I might have gotten the audition. Here's the thing about getting an audition, and we have no control. I don't have control, and this is for the most part, you do not have control over this, what I'm about to tell you. When someone puts in a job for bid or they're put it out for audition, they have a voice in their head already. The voice they hear clearly in their head, and they cannot describe it. But when they hear it, that's the person they hire. It is something we will never have access to. And anything, especially at the level of just starting out and you're auditioning for something that another 100 or 200 or 1,000 other voice actors are auditioning for, we never know the voice that's in their head. We do grow past that because we develop client lists that like to work with us no matter what because of our ethic or whatever, and they just work with us. But when it comes down to an audition, you never know what that voice in that person's head sounds like. You don't know it. You never will figure it out. And that's what makes auditioning so hard. And that's why being a voice actor is hard in the beginning. It is not easy. So I hope that answers your question for you. How long did it take you to get into the business? I've been in the business for 10 years. I've been hot for the last 2. 8 years before I got hot. But also 8 years before I got really, really serious. So I'm telling people that if you're not willing to put in 1 to 5 years of eating dirt, quit today, because it's going to take you that long. It's going to take you 1 to 5 years, closer to the 5. Got to be completely honest with you here. So if you're not willing to grind and don't quit for 5 years, quit today. If you start and stop, it's like you're starting over. You know, if you put in a year and you quit, it's not working. Then 2 years later, you come up with it again. Maybe I'll go back into voiceover. You're starting from square one again. Either you're going to put all your chips in and do this, or you're not. All right. When did you know that VO life was for you? I've pretty much always known that I wanted to be behind a mic. I've done so much stuff in radio and other stuff. Being behind the mic, doing podcasting, it's just a lot of things that got me involved in doing voiceover. I picked voiceover to do because I really love it, but it was more so the mic. Getting behind the microphone was it for me. It was the experience that I always wanted to have, and voiceover gives me the ability to always be behind the mic. All right, let's see. Cynthia put in a question. Hey guys, I'm having a real problem with the sound of my desktop PC fan interfering with my voiceovers. I'm using Audacity and the noise gate isn't completely removing sound of the fan. I am at my wit's end. I need suggestions. You need to move your computer farther away from your mic. Or if you're in a closet, you need to put your computer outside of your closet. You need to put it outside so that it's not interfering with it, because some of these things are loud on some of these fans. I can hear my fan and it's under my desk, but it's a quieter type fan, but I can still hear it. Can you? I don't know. But so with that being said, but now obviously I've got the booth, and I don't worry about that anymore. But if you've got a noisy fan, you've got to do something about that fan. It's not just going to go away. You've got to do something about it, whether it's a new computer or moving that fan out of your room. It's the only answer there. All right. Titus 7 Enterprises asked, I watched one of your prior videos about not just depending solely on freelance and P2P sites, but actively seeking to build your voiceover business locally where you reside. In my research, and please correct me if I'm wrong, those sites do offer a built-in safety net or make sure you get paid. So A, as a beginner, when you go it alone, how do you negotiate rates into your payment and plainly just not get taken? I'll deal with that first. You got to stop worrying about it so much. As far as getting paid, I've never been screwed over a payment. May I in the future? Maybe. But no one's ever signed a contract. Well, I have a contract with some of my agents, obviously. I have 2 agents. This is 2, right? Yeah, I have 2 agents. And so I'm covered through that. When I work directly with a client, I've never had anyone sign a contract because it's normally all email based. And so what we said we're going to do is in that email. I've never been scammed out of a payment from a client that I've gotten. If you worry about getting scammed, you will halt yourself. You will hurt yourself. You will not get what you want to get because you're worried that someone's going to screw you over. Is the possibility there? Yes. It is, but let's just be real. If you're getting screwed out of $50 for doing a 30-second commercial, there's something wrong with the clientele you're selecting. It's like you have a gut feeling about some things. But I've never gotten screwed out of a payment before, and I don't worry about it. I don't operate like that. I operate above board, and I believe most people operate above board. And if someone's going to screw me out of a payment, they're just going to do it. And there's legal recourse behind that if you want to take it. But I don't worry about those types of things. That's a less than mentality to me. It's a less than mentality. Let's see here. There's an A and a B to the question. When you first started, what was your process with direct-to-you payments? I used PayPal. How did you protect yourself, business now versus back then? It's no different. People pay me when I complete the job and I send the job in. People pay me. Sometimes people want to pay up front. If they say, hey, can we just pay up front? Yeah, sure, you can. Here's my PayPal link or my Stripe link or whatever. I've never been screwed out of a payment. Not one time. And if you have a feeling that people are going to screw you over initially, then don't do the work. But if you feel that way about everything, something's wrong with you, not them. Anyway, is there a C to this question? In your experience as a VO artist and someone who is deep in the industry with his ear around those who make the decisions to use or hire talent with regards to freelance. I don't know those people. I'm not that high up in the chain, dude. But anyway, I'll continue to reading, citing others along those lines. Have you come across any people talking about the constant mistakes beginners are making which lead them to not get hired? Example, being on too many sites with their, oh, this is a long question. Read more. All right. No, I don't have connections with those people. I hear it just like you do out in the VO community from time to time, but I pay such little attention to what people say. It's ridiculous. There's only a couple people that I consume their content. I'm not out here reading through Facebook pages and Twitter feeds and all that. I don't do it. I don't want that junk in my head. I consume content from Mike Russell because I want to learn more about Adobe Audition. And I consume from time to time the Booth Junkie. Anyone else, I ignore. I don't listen to other coaches. I don't listen to the noise that goes on because that noise hinders us. There was this thing, and I heard about this, the whole algorithm change for Facebook and, the algorithm change on Fiverr and the algorithm change in YouTube and people being all upset about an algorithm change and saying, oh, well, they're not doing things right. And I listen to these people sometimes and I look and I was like, they're probably not doing jack anyway, because through all the algorithm changes, Earl Hall is still making money. So I don't know what these people are complaining about with an algorithm change. An algorithm change only affects someone that is doing nothing. That's who it affects. An algorithm change does not affect me because I produce insane amounts of content every day. Algorithm changes don't bother me. And also understand that Facebook is not yours. YouTube is not yours. Fiverr is not yours. Voices123 is not yours. Even Voices.com is not yours. We may not like what it is that we do, we may not like what it is that they do. And we have our option whether or not we want to play with them anymore. We can take our ball and we can go home. Now, here's one of the interesting things that I figured out about people too. Those people that are complaining about all these algorithm changes and stuff happening, they're not even doing anything. They're not even doing anything. So that's how I feel about all that. All right. D. Since the adage, you never get a second chance to make a first impression, is alive and well, when you are a ripe beginner and trying to burst through the catch-22 of you need a job in order to get experience, but you need experience. Yeah, I get that one, job. But is it not in your budget to do better just yet. How many sites would you suggest as a limit, at least until your situation improves, so your brand isn't blacklisted as a whole due to your very humble beginnings? Or is it not an issue with VO? I don't think it's as big of an issue as people think. And as far as how many sites you need to be on, you can be on as many sites as you want, but here's how I would suggest that you get there. Become an expert at one. Learn that bad boy. Start making work on that one so that you have experience getting work. And you can use that experience to go to another site and know what you should do on that site better than if you had not become an expert at the first one. So you start off with one, become an expert. Add another one, become an expert at those two. Once you are an expert at those two, go to the third one. And it does not matter what the site is. The thing that you have to learn how to do is play in that ecosystem, because there are little nuances about each site that are different. Hope that answers your question. All right, let's go back over here and I can see the comments from everyone now. So I've answered all the questions that came in. Let's see. Let's go back. Oh, a couple of things have come in. Okay. What's up, Ben? Let's see. Great advice in LinkedIn. After our one-on-one on social media, had a conversation with the head of production of Walt Disney UK today. No work as of yet, but a conversation with a major player. That's big, Ben. And I'm not talking about the clock. All right. Dan, nice, Ben. Yep. Nice work on that. Edge, E-Dog, 1960. Howdy, Earl. Eric here from the exciting metropolis of Richmond, Texas. If you could give 3 tips on self-directing, what would they be? 3 tips on self-directing. E-Dog, are you new? Because they will be different if you're new, as opposed to you've been in for 8 years. So let me know that. How long have you been in? Are you just starting? Have you been in for years? Let me know, because that'll be a determination on how I answer that question. So let's move on here. Denise, hey Earl, for a VO beginner, would you recommend joining a P2P site first? Secondly, any thoughts on using a porta booth? I'm not a big fan of the porta booths. I don't think they work right. And this is not because I have used them, which may sound amazing. Now, what I would suggest is this, because I've used it. I've used it here. There's a cheaper version of this. This is, the Chaotica Eyeball is $200. This is $50, and they do the same freaking thing. Go to my store at stepstovoiceoversuccess.com and click on the link at the top that says VO Gear and Books. Go there, grab one of those. I've used them both. I have a video doing a comparison on both on my YouTube channel, and you'll see me holding both of them. I think it's Chaotica Eyeball versus the Alctron PF8. But just type in Chaotica Eyeball and I'll probably come up. And you'll see the comparison and you'll hear the difference that I have with that. Now with the booths, the porta booths, here's the thing about the portable booths. They cover the back of the mic, but nothing's behind you. So you're still getting all that bounce coming in behind you of your voice in echo. So I don't think they work well. Even with the Chaotica Eyeball or the PF8, even just throwing up a blanket behind you is going to do wonders. It's going to do wonders. And the other stuff with the portable booths, they don't cover the top, most of them. That's why you see so many voice actors, even the pros, they're out and they're going to a hotel. They turn over a chair and they make themselves a booth and they get on the floor in there and they do that. But anyway. All right, so E-Dog, you've been in for about 2 years, so you're a newbie still. So with that being said, self-direction, I wouldn't do it. Just being honest. I don't think you have enough experience to self-direct. It's a good idea to have, if you have someone with more experience, I'm talking about a decade more experience, to actually have a walkthrough with you through a read if you need one. But self-directing is hard. It is hard. If you're going to do it because you're just that badass and you're going to do it, do a couple of takes. And, when I say a couple, 4 to 5, different takes of the same script, and pick one. That's about it on that. Also with self-directing, because you will never, when you get into the higher echelons of doing voiceover and you're going into someone else's studio, that's what's going to happen. They're going to direct you through the read. You will never get it right on the first one. You will be there for about a half an hour or more. I've seen people there on a short read for an hour. So at any rate, self-directing in the beginning, you don't have enough experience to self-direct. You just don't. So now let's go to the next one. All right, Denise. Hey, Earl, from a VO beginner, would you recommend joining a PD? Secondly, and thoughts? Okay, I answered that one. All right. Sound advice. Thanks, Rich. I'm glad you are getting value from the videos that I produce here on YouTube. Love doing this with you guys. Well, I've answered all of the questions for this, so I'm going to wrap this up. Unless you guys have some more questions for me, then that's fine. Those of you that came in late, please pay attention to what's in the description for this video. We've got some great stuff coming. I'm so excited. We've got some great stuff coming at VoiceOver Domination. It is definitely a place that you want to check out. I've been in studio today working on the new magazine that's going to be a part of your membership. If you're a member of VoiceOver Domination, you're going to get the monthly magazine, VQ Magazine. It's VoiceOver Quarterly. Yes, I did steal it from GQ, but this is VQ, VoiceOver Quarterly. So as a part of the membership for VoiceOver Domination, you get access to that magazine. You also get access to very in-depth live streams that I will be doing for VoiceOver Domination only. Once a month, you get access to that, as well as everything else that's involved with the program. You get 10 days free. Wow, excuse me. You get 10 days free. It's live. I don't know what to tell you. Can't edit that out. But you get 10 days free, and it's only $29 a month after that. So you go in there, go there right now, or as soon as the live stream is over, go catch, see what's going on at voiceoverdomination.com. It's voiceoverdomination.com. Got a lot of stuff coming up, so I'm super excited. Thank you guys for coming in on this live stream on a Sunday. I'll be back next Sunday, and we'll do another live stream. So during the course of this week, what you want to do right here on this video, and we'll do this every Sunday. So on this video, after it becomes live, not in the chat, but after it becomes live on YouTube, I want you to come back to this video and post your questions for next week. And we'll be back next week, Sunday, 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern, right here to answer your questions. So put your questions here, and I'll know where to go to find the answers to this. Now, thanks so much, Dell. I thank you so much for that. For those of you that don't know, I do a podcast. It is called Earl Hall Studio, the Earl Hall Studio Audio Experience. And you can listen to it right at the homepage on stepstovoiceoversuccess.com. You can help produce this podcast, and this is how. I've set up a Skype channel, which is, if you have Skype, just connect with me. My Skype name, Earl Hall Studio. What you do, ring me up on Skype. I never answer that line. It is specifically for the podcast, the Earl Hall Studio Audio Experience. You Skype me at Earl Hall Studio. The voicemail will answer. You leave your question. I take your question in audio format and I put it into the podcast and I answer your question. You can go and listen right now. I am on. Wait a minute. You know what? I'm just gonna let me pull up Steps to Voiceover Success here, and let me share my screen with you one more time so that you can see this in all of its glory. Actually, I'm going to do the zoom in part here. So let's turn that off and we're going to zoom in. But where we're going is Steps to Voiceover Success. All right, so this is the home page of Steps to Voiceover Success. See all our little goodies. If you don't got the book, get the book. Steps to Voiceover Success. And here we are, the Earl Hall Studio audio experience. I've even got the Skype call button right there on the page. Literally, you can press it if you've got Skype, and you can call me there at Earl Hall Studio. Leave your message and voicemail with your question. I've already got 4 episodes that are already up from this past week. You can take a listen to them there. You can hear me on Spreaker, Google Play, iTunes. Yeah, boy, I'm on Alexa, Anchor, and Blog Talk Radio. Pick which one. You can click any of these links. I want you to subscribe to this podcast. It's amazing. Take a listen to it while you're doing the dishes, while you're walking the dog, while you're at the gym working out, wherever, and get some sound advice on voiceover. And the great thing about this is, and the reason why I'm doing it this way and taking your questions right here, is because I want to make an impact and give you the answers that you need, that you require, and that you are looking for. So go there right now, stepstovoiceoversuccess.com, and you can subscribe. You can listen right there on the page as well, and you can subscribe by any of those means necessary. I'm even on Apple CarPlay. I'm on Apple CarPlay. You know what else is interesting? If you have an iPhone, how many of you have an iPhone? You want to see something neat? Siri. Hey, Siri. Play the podcast, The Earl Hall Studio Audio Experience.
Okay, The Earl Hall Studio Audio Experience podcast now playing.
One of the fastest growing resources online right now is at Steps.
If you've got an iPhone, you can do the same thing.
Now and check it out.
I love this. If you've got an iPhone, you can literally do the same thing. Hey, Siri, play the podcast, The Earl Hall Studio Audio Experience. And it's doing it again. It's doing it again. Oh, because I said doing it again. All right, Siri, thanks a lot. Appreciate you. All right, so that's just one of the things. I'm going to get on Google Play. I'm going to get on there, but give me a moment to do that. But I want you to get subscribed to this podcast, and I want to answer your questions. Thank you guys for being here with me on this Sunday afternoon. I hope you have a great day, and you'll hear more from me in the coming week. And if you're not following me, you need to, especially on Facebook. Go to just look up on Facebook, Earl Hall Studio, or it's actually facebook.com/EarlHallVO. And join the Facebook page. That's the page. If you want to join the group, it's Steps to Voiceover Success. All right, a lot of info there. And Instagram. Dude, you got to follow me there. Instagram. It's just Earl Hall Studio. All right, you guys have a great one, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for being here with me. You take care. Bye-bye.